How do languages diffuse? Languages such as Chinese and Latin have diffused over large areas. The Han Empire in China and the Roman Empire in Europe and North Africa knit together large swaths of territory, encouraging the diffusion of one language over large regions. The wealthiest people learned these languages first in order to maintain power. The poor continued to speak the local languages, and illiteracy increased. Until the invention of the Gutenberg printing press by Johann Gutenberg in 1440. In 1452, Gutenberg printed the first Gutenberg Bible. Gutenberg's press made it possible to print the Bible in one's own language. This type of communication led to the rise of large independent states that developed their political and economic interests through mercantilism and colonialism. Globalization is shrinking the world's linguistic heritage. Anthropologist Wade Davis estimates that half of the world's 700 languages are endangered. Regional trade encouraged people speaking different tongues to find ways to communicate with one another. Lingua franca is the language used among speakers of different languages for the purposes of trade and commerce. It can be a single language or a mixture of two or more languages. When people speaking two or more languages are in contact and they combine parts of their languages in a simplified structure and vocabulary, it's called pidgin language. The lingua franca of East Africa is Swahili. Through centuries of trade and interaction, Swahili developed from an African Bantu language mixed with Arabic and Persian, encompassing 100 million speakers from southern Somalia to northern Mozambique, and from coastal Kenya and Tanzania to Uganda and the East African Great Lakes region. Over time, a pidgin language may gain native speakers, becoming the first language children learn in the home. When this happens, it is called a creolized or Creole language. A Creole language is a pidgin language that has developed a more complex structure and vocabulary, and it's become the native language of a group of people. In a world of some 200 political entities and several thousand languages, most countries cope to varying degrees with multilinguals, the use of more than one language by sectors of the population. Monolingual states do exist. These are countries where almost everyone speaks the same language. These include Japan, Uruguay, Iceland, Denmark, Poland, and Lesotho. Countries in which more than one language is in use are called multilingual states. In some of these countries, linguistic fragmentation reflects strong cultural pluralism as well as divisive forces. Multilingualism takes several forms. Countries can be dominated by two strong languages. Regional languages can continue to coexist, and languages are determined by location within a country. Countries with linguistic fragmentation often adopt an official language or languages to tie the people together. A state or country adopts an official language in the hope of promoting communication and interaction among peoples who speak different local and regional languages. The European Union is not a country, but it recognizes 23 official languages, and the United Nations has 6 official languages. In each of these cases, the international organization offers simultaneous translation among the official languages to any member of the Parliament in the European Union or the General Assembly, the United Nations, for members who request it. English is the standard language of international business and travel, the lingua franca. Does this mean that English is the global language? What is a global language? It means a common language of trade and commerce used around the world. However, there's no way to determine whether English will eventually become the global language. Now tell me what you think. Write down the answers to these two questions and bring them to class next time. Do you think that there should be one official language for countries? And do you believe that students should be required to complete courses in languages other than English in order to graduate? Remember, quiz next time.